Hi, welcome back to Right From Wrong. I hope that you had a good holiday season. I know we did. But it got me to thinking, what do we have to be thankful for as writers? What gifts were we given this year, and what can we look forward to in the new year on a positive end, since there has been a lot of negativity in the news and whatever. But what as writers can we be thankful for? So what could there be to be thankful for in 2025? You know, a year that showed was pretty much a dumpster fire in a lot of places, in a lot of ways, not just this industry. The industry's been contracting. It's been, scattered. It's using, AI, and there's less TV shows being produced, and budgets are cut, less productions happening, less positions available in those productions. So what could there be to be thankful for in 2025? Well, here's my list of 5 or so things that I think writers especially have to look forward to going into 2026. I'll start with the big one. According to some reports, only 11 major spec sales were made in 2023. We had at least 8 major spec sales in August alone in 2025. So that's huge. A lot of people are mentioning that spec sales are on the rise. It's a bit of a boom, hopefully returning back to the old days where you could, sell or expect to sell, a quality script. Apparently this is due to companies not wanting to have projects sitting in development for a long time. They want stuff that's ready-made, and that's ready to go. So for writers who've been working despite not maybe selling anything lately, this is the time. Make sure everything's punched up, get it out there. They're looking, so we have that to be thankful for, and that's a biggie. A second big thing to be thankful for this season, box office returns are not 100% where everybody wanted them to be. They were shooting for over 9 billion. Apparently we ended 2025 with around 8.9 billion. Still good, much better than some of the previous years since COVID. We're right a little below what they were hoping, but more than it has been most of the recent years. So that's a plus. And the biggest part of that is maybe that they weren't held up by billion-dollar Avengers movies, billion-dollar tentpoles. A lot of them were somewhat regular movies, new movies, Sinners, movies like that. There's still a lot of sequels, a lot of remakes, a lot of reboots, but that's just going to be the norm probably forever. It always has been. But none of them domestically crossed $1 billion. Minecraft movie came very close, I believe. But really, it shows maybe health spread throughout the industry, that people are still willing to go to the movies, even if it's not, Iron Man or Captain America, or should I say the original cinematic Captain America. The Red Hulk movie didn't do as great as they were hoping, but again, the fact that we still made almost $9 billion without one of those movies being a blockbuster is, I think, a good sign. All right, I mentioned Sinners. I think that's also a good sign that movies like horror, especially elevated horror, have become more mainstream, including contained movies, contained horror. So that's a good sign that, maybe the budgets aren't as high as they used to be, but the industry's finding a way to still turn out really great product, really great stories, and tell them in a creative, contained, or elevated way. That's great for horror. It's great for other genres. I know a couple years ago, I heard from multiple places that Westerns were pretty much dead, unless your name was, Sheridan. But now I'm not sure that that's true. I think genre movies are still big. I mean, Westerns aren't probably ever going to get back to the way they were in the 50s, 60s, but genre movies, because of the elevated status, contained status, you can still find ways to do that. So I think that's a huge plus for people who write in the genre, in the genre style of movie, regardless of genre, really. Another big plus for 2025, and really has been for a while and continues to grow, is the ability to connect with people online through Facebook groups, through YouTube channels, email. People are more open, I think, to connecting and meeting. there's more access to information probably than there's ever been, and I think that's going to continue growing. I got into this seriously, at least on social media, in like 2019, 2020, around the COVID times, and I've only seen it grow ever since. I've got a decent network of trusted writers and friends, some who I've met in person, some who I would like to meet in person one day. But that access hasn't always been there. I mean, some of us remember 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when you couldn't do that. You know, if you were in a city that wasn't LA, or maybe New York, you didn't have access to that. You had to move. Nowadays, you can connect with people, and they're open to it generally. I mean, you just have to approach them, you know, from a professional, you know, a genuine, authentic way. But now it's something to be thankful for that we didn't always have. So I'd like to bring that up. And my fifth point I wanted to make, with the decentralization of maybe the movie industry from, you know, not all 100% being based or 99% being based in Hollywood. I mean, still stuff is getting done in Hollywood, don't get me wrong, but the industry, especially since COVID and Zoom meetings and with the spec sales, you know, rising, people, I don't know about agents so much, but definitely managers and production companies are way more willing to take someone seriously who doesn't live in LA or, you know, New York or something like that. It's really a good time for people like me who don't live in LA, and we still have the ability to be taken seriously. We have, like I mentioned in the last point, we have the internet, we have access to people that we would never have had access to before, and that's a huge plus, and I expect it to only grow going forward as that norm of having to be in LA kind of goes away, and people are more understanding of people with families or careers, and you just can't up and move to LA. I mean, it's still great if you can. I think you still have much more opportunity to, you know, bump elbows with people and just make those random life, you know, luck situations happen, which is how a lot of the networking, a lot of how opportunities come up in general is just random bumping into people, knowing somebody who knows somebody. So I'm not knocking living in LA. Honestly, if I can pick up and move, I'd probably do it. But it's still a plus for people who aren't able to be in that circle right now and still be taken seriously. So I don't take that for granted going into 2026. And I have one more controversial bonus one. Everyone's got feelings about it. I have strong feelings about it. And that is things to be thankful for, maybe. AI. I don't like it as a writer. I don't consider, you know, I don't like calling myself an artist. It feels kind of, but there are artists, there are geniuses, there are savants, there are amazing people who can do amazing things without AI. AI as a tool, maybe, if there was a way, you know, with a rise of some kind of ethical AI where people are given credit. I do have an image for what that might look like in the future. I won't share it in this video because I'm going to go off on a tangent on that. But as a writer, I don't use it. I've used it for fun to see what it could do. I've tried to test its limits. It can do some stuff, but to me, it'll never replace a human. So why do I put that on this list of things to be thankful for? There are people who are going to get use out of it, and that's just a fact. Not saying that they don't have talent already, but they're going to find a way to use it, either to finish their scripts faster, to brainstorm faster, to plan faster. Hopefully not to make the actual product in AI. To me, it still looks garbage, and you can tell right away when something's AI. It's getting better, but I don't want to see AI winning Academy Awards and stuff. That's not what that was designed for. But anyway, that's just me. But there are people who are going to get something out of it. So I wanted to mention it as a controversial point. And for those of us who don't like AI, I think eventually we will be able to look forward to that AI bubble burst when people are going to say no. I mean, production companies at some point, I think, are going to say no. We don't want it. I think there's too many legal issues. And honestly, in this industry, I think maybe more than any other, you want to work with people that you want to work with. Like, this is an industry, I think, that people get into because they want to create, they want to do the thing, and they want to do the thing with other people who enjoy doing their part of the thing. I'm not going to join a band and then have AI write my music. I mean, because the joy of that, of being in a band, is creating and playing my own music. So I'm not going to join a band to do that. I'm not going to become a writer so that I can prompt a script. Again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole yet, but for people, there are going to be people that are going to get some use out of it, and they can be thankful that it is improving. And for people who don't use it, I think we have that burst to look forward to, where eventually, the industry, I think, is going to say, meh, I prefer a human. And I think that's going to be a huge turning point. Again, I brought up the possibility of an ethical AI system, one of which that I've kind of brainstormed, and I mean, they're way ahead of me. They probably used AI to brainstorm AI, but anyway, they're way ahead of me, but I don't even want to put it out in the ether to make it, a thing. But I do foresee a possibility of an ethical AI and maybe some form of coexistence where we can do it and still become, still get credit as creatives. But anyway, that's my last point for being thankful in 2025. There you have it. It's good to be back. I hope you guys had a good holiday. And if you have any, concerns, disagreements, you don't think that I'm right, you think AI is just off the rails or is the best thing since sliced bread, don't be afraid to comment. I may not agree with you, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. Let's have a good 2026, and I hope things look up. Keep writing, and hopefully I'll be back soon with some more advice and some more updates on how we can make 2026 a productive and artistic year. Have a good one.